It is time for another video, you guys. Well, I'm back, man. I'm back from my week at home. I was gonna make a video like while I was at home, but honestly, when I was home, I was so busy. Like either I was moving or doing something that had to do with moving, or I was getting shit-faced drunk. That's the only thing. My parents put in a really nice swimming pool in their backyard, and they put it in the winter time, and they really wanted people to swim in it. So I'm like, all right. So I swam in that pool. It was hot as shit down in Texas when it wasn't raining, and I had to move all kinds of shit. I got 2 different storage units for all my stuff, because you got to figure when you move all your stuff out of your house and you don't even have a house or an apartment or anything, you really need 2 units. I mean, that being said, I do own 2 different vehicles and stuff like that. I got a lot of tools, and I got a trailer and an ATV. I got a lot of shit. I mean, I don't have a lot of furniture and stuff like that. I just 10 boxes, 6 pieces of furniture is about all I have. Most of the shit I have is like automotive tools and just all kinds of different tools and equipment, from working in an auto shop, working construction, tool carts, and all kinds of shit like that I like holding on to. Plus, I work on my Mustang, as like a hobby. Well, I used to anyway before I did this fucking job, and one day I will again. So, I got a lot of tools and bullshit, so I had to move shit into 2 different fucking storages, and then, work as late as I possibly could, and then go out with my friends and get shit hammered drunk again, and then wake up the next day hungover and do it all again. So, it was, not to mention my pickup truck broke down right when I was moving some stuff, and I actually had to go take it in and get fixed. It was a pain in the ass. But I'm back at the truck, man. Back in New York, waiting on a load right now. Don't shut up. I guess I get to that. Well, this is my new co-pilot. This is my new pilot. Hey, say hello. Say hello. Yeah, that's my new pilot right there. I've got my dog with me now. That wasn't my original plan, to bring my dog with me on the road. I was kind of trying to avoid it. But I was originally gonna take her to... She can't stay with my ex. My ex is getting an apartment, and she just can't keep her. And I said, that's fine. And I didn't want to get rid of her, so I figured I'd let her live with my dad in Memphis until I come back from over the road. But while I was home, I kind of figured that was just not a good idea, because his health isn't great right now. And he's got a labor extensive job, and he's got his knees fucked up, and he's having trouble with his knee, and I don't even really think he really wants to do it. And I understand that. I'm not mad at him for that. I don't want to make anybody do anything they don't want to do. So I was like, you know what? He doesn't live in the best part of Memphis. I mean, Memphis itself is not a really great town. So I didn't really want to leave the dog with him. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just fucking take her with me, and I'll deal with it, I just... I guess to anybody who's like, yeah, I want that guy to train me, as flattering as that is, training sucks, man. I mean, it's a lot of fucking work, and I mean, it's kind of bad for your health, because you just get, you're always running. Now the money's good. I mean, the money is a little bit better, shall I say, but I mean, you have to deal with such sleep deprivation that sleep deprivation is really bad for your health in so many different ways. I mean, you're running and gunning, and you're up late, you're drinking energy drinks to make sure that you stay focused and shit like that. And You eat shittier food because you're just trying to run and gun. I mean, I stock groceries and stuff like that, but at 4 in the morning in the middle of Utah, I'm just like, fuck it, give me some nachos and a Milky Way bar, and I'll just keep on going. It's just, I don't know. Sleep deprivation is just bad for your health, and you do lose a lot of sleep. Now, I mean, there are companies that the way they train their new drivers is the student drives during the day and the trainer stays awake during the day, and you both stop and sleep at night. Some companies do that, which is a good way to train, but it's expensive because you're not running that 4, 5, 6,000 miles a week. You're running that 2,500 to 3,000 miles a week that a solo driver would do. So you have to make up the fucking pay difference. Like, you have to pay that trainer extra. I mean, if only one person is driving, if only the student's driving, you're only going to crack out 2,500 to 3,500 miles in a week. I'd say average 3,000, right? What a solo driver would average, And if you're only making that much, it would kind of stand to reason to think, why don't I just fucking run solo? Why even waste my time training? So you would have to add in that financial incentive, so you're paying more, the company's paying more money for just that 3,000 miles a week to be driven, but you got 2 people in the truck. That's 2 people you got to pay. You got to pay the trainee pay, then you got to pay the miles to the trainer, but then you got to pay extra to the trainer. And a lot of companies don't do it that way. A lot of companies, I believe, do it this way, is where you want to make your extra money, you train during the day, cram as much sleep as you can before their time runs out, and then you got to jump behind the wheel to complete that 2,000 mile run, that because they give you expedited runs. That's how it works. I mean, if you want to make the extra money, that's what you got to do. That's what they expect. So I didn't have a lot of fun doing it. I mean, one of my trainees, it actually was a lot of fun. I really liked hanging out with that guy. Me and him had a lot in common and shit. It was actually, he took to it like a duck to water. Is it a duck to water? I don't know. He took to it real well. However the fucking analogy goes. But my month with him was really low stress. Nothing against any of my other trainees, but I had to work harder to make sure they got trained, I mean, another one of my trainees, he was pretty good at the job, and then I had other trainees that, were just a lot more difficult, and I had to work a lot harder, So, the last guy I had, he did pretty well. I mean, he passed his road test, but he had a lot of trouble backing, and it was a lot of work to make sure that he could back the truck correctly and stuff like that. So it was just it's work, you work a lot harder, and I really enjoyed being solo, just sleeping when the truck's not moving, because when the truck's moving, sometimes I could sleep like a baby, but sometimes my brain keeps telling me, okay, the truck's moving, you need to be awake, something's happening, you need to be awake for that. You got to kind of program your brain to tune that shit out, and it's it's harder to fall asleep than just, okay, time to go to sleep, brain, good night, because your brain just keeps running and running and running. If your brain keeps running, you won't fall asleep. So I just miss being solo. If my DM can keep me busy, and I know my last DM used to keep me plenty busy running solo. I haven't run solo under this guy yet. I got him at the same time that I became a trainer, so I haven't run solo under him yet. So as long as he can keep me busy, then I just run solo, and just I'm paying my last rent payment in a couple weeks, and then when the house is gone, then that's a lot of fucking money I'm gonna be able to keep every month. No more utilities, no more fucking house bills, no more astronomical fucking rent. It's like a shitload of money I'll be able to keep. I don't even know the numbers percentage like off the top of my head. It's a lot of money. So I just as soon run solo, you know. And so I got the dog, and I was like, you know, fuck it, I'm not gonna miss training. You know, and not to talk anybody else out of training. You know, I mean, it's not that I can't do it, and it's not even necessarily that I won't train. It's just that I don't really like training. You know, I just enjoy running solo out here. You know, I mean, it's one thing if you got your wife or your girlfriend with you, or your dog, you know, or something like that. You know, but, you know, training solo is just, it's so much better in so many ways. You actually have better downtime. You know, if you got to take care of something, the truck's not like when when the trainee takes over. You know, you got to take care of the things you got to take care of during the day. You know, any phone calls you got to make to any kind of establishments. You know, your bank or your insurance company. You know, typically you got to make them calls during the day. So, you know, you got to stay up and make those, and, you know, you don't have any fucking downtime. If there's something you got to do on the internet, like fill out a form, you know, because you're away from home, you know, I got to re-register one of my cars over the internet and stuff like that. When the truck is moving, you don't always have the best fucking signal, especially when you're out in the middle of the desert and stuff like that. So you got to kind of sit and wait until internet comes back, instead of just, you're done, you're parked for the day, sitting at a truck stop. You can take care of what you need to take care of. You know, I just prefer solo. You know, maybe will I train again? I don't know. It depends on what I gotta do with the dog, you know. You know, so far she's doing okay out here. This is the longest she's ever been away from home in a vehicle and stuff like that. So it's totally, everything's kind of a little bit of a culture shock to her. You know, the first day, you know, I mean, we drove one of my vehicles up to Nashville, and that was kind of stressful for her. You know, every noise, every road noise, she wants to find out what they all are. You know, she's, what the hell's that noise? And she's looking out the windows trying to figure out what all the fucking noises are. And it's kind of the same way in the truck. You know, she does get nervous, but she's getting better day by day. She's kind of learning what to expect. When the truck is stopped, she's cool. She just hangs out, you know. She does a lot of sleeping. You know, she's sleeping right now. But, you know, when the truck is moving, she gets a little more nervous, and she'll lay on the floor and, you know, just chill while I'm driving. You know, I kind of wish she would just jump in the sleeper and just lay on top of the bed while I'm driving, but she doesn't want to be back there. She does not want to be in the sleeper when the truck's moving. She wants to be up here, and if stuff starts getting noisy, she wants to be able to look out the window and see, what the hell is that? What's going on? What are we doing? And then she'll go lay back down on the floor. So she's doing okay. You know, she may not be the best road dog, but, you know, she's surviving, and I think she'll do okay. So that's where I'm at right now. I just didn't think it just kind of occurred to me that it wouldn't be the best idea to leave her with my dad, and I don't have anybody else to fucking leave her with. You know, it's either that she stays with me, or or I gotta get rid of her, and I really don't want to do that. You know, I may have to. I really don't want to, though. I was hoping to, you know, hold on. I've had this dog for 3 years now. I think I've had this dog, so, you know, I want to hold on to her. But, you know, that's that. So we'll see how that works out. You know, you can't. One big difference in having a dog with you, I guess, is just it's just about having the same as having your kid or a girlfriend or a wife or someone else with you. Is, you know, you can't run and gun solo driving like you previously did. Like, I used to be just going. You know, the only times I stopped is when I absolutely had to fucking stop, and I was going and fucking going, you know what I mean? But you gotta slow down a little bit when you got another life form in the truck with you. You know, she has needs that need to be met as well. You know, she's gotta get walked, you know, and stuff like that. So I gotta make sure I get up early enough to, you know, where I can, you know, take her out for a little while and stuff like that, and then pick her, you know, lower her down out of the truck, walk her, then pick her back up and throw her in the truck, and then start my day. And the same thing at the end of the day. And then when I take my 30-minute break, you know, I'll walk her. And the good thing about it is it gets me out of the truck, and I'm not quite as of a lazy asshole as I was before, you know. I'm thinking I'd like to. I haven't started yet. I would like to start jogging with her, you know. That way she can get, you know, a little bit of calories burnt, and I need to burn some calories myself. I've gained a few pounds running around out here on the road, especially fucking training. Man, you will gain some weight training, you know, because it's not even about your diet as much as your sleep deprivation, and you can't ever get out of the fucking truck because the truck's almost never parked. It's rarely parked. I mean, sometimes you'll be stopped overnight, but usually the truck is going all the time. So you can't get out and walk around. You're stuck in this motherfucker, you know, or you're training, and you know, you don't do as much physical work because you have someone else, the trainee's doing a lot of the fucking work, and you're doing it with them, you know. But it's like that, you know. So I've gained a few fucking pounds I need to lose. So, you know, me and the dog running a little bit would be a good thing. As far as flatbedding with a dog, we're you know, I taking it for a trial run. Now, I mean, I'd like to be in flatbedding for at least a year and hit the year mark before I decide to make any changes. If I decide to make any changes, you know, because originally I was thinking if I have the dog with me, I want to go van. Now, I don't really prefer van over flatbed. I prefer flatbed, but at the same time, you know, you spend a lot more time outside of the truck in flatbed, and I wasn't sure if that'd be something that, you know, I'd be cool with the dog. One of the reasons why is because certain shippers, when you're parked at certain shippers and receivers, especially shippers, you can't idle the truck, albeit you're inside of a warehouse, or maybe you're outside somewhere, but they collect your keys, or you cannot idle, or whatever, you know, which is usually not that big of a deal, but it is that big of a deal when it's 90 fucking degrees outside and you have a live animal inside of your cab, you know, and it gets hot as fuck in here. Now, I like to keep the cab cool for my food, but, you know, if it gets too hot in here, you know, she'll fucking die. You know, the animals are sensitive to that kind of shit, so I haven't had that happen yet. I've only been back on the road a couple days, but we're gonna see how it goes. You know, if I get stuck at a shipper that, you know, I'm sitting there for 2 hours and I can't idle the truck and I still haven't been loaded, I may just have to tell them, look, if you guys aren't gonna load me anytime soon, I need to start my truck and cool it down for a little while because I got my dog in there and she's gonna have a fucking heat stroke. You know, it is what it is, you know. You know, maybe it'd be a good excuse for them to go ahead and fucking get me loaded, you know, some of these places. So I don't know, you know, if we'll see how it goes by the time I hit my year mark with this company. And, you know, be flatbedding for a full 12 months. And then after that, if I decided that maybe it's better that I go haul van instead, you know, that way I could stay in the cab with the dog and stuff like that, maybe that'd be a better idea. I'm not sure yet. Not to mention, a lot of warehouses and stuff like that, you go to distribution centers for van, you have better opportunities to take the dog out and take her for a walk. If you're sitting somewhere at a shipper receiver for fucking 4 to 6 hours or some god crazy ass amount of time, you know, you could take the dog out at a warehouse or something, and usually you could walk her in a grassy patch or something like that. You know, just get her out of the truck and, you know, let her use the bathroom. A lot of flatbed places are not like that because the forklifts are in the warehouse, in the backs of the van trailers and shit. Flatbed, all the forklifts are out cruising around the parking lot and shit like that. And they don't want dogs running around because it's a fucking hazard, and I understand that. But a lot of places they have specific rules against animals outside the cab. And if I'm gonna be stuck there for 4 fucking hours or 6 fucking hours or some crazy ass amount of time, you know, it might get a little difficult, you know. I don't know how it's gonna work out. You know, flatbedding, not as conducive to having pets with you as a van or reefer or something like that. We're gonna see how it goes. You know, we're trial run. You know, I didn't really have any other options. So we'll see. But other than that, that's just a little update of where I'm at right now. I gotta send a message to my DM. If you know, he gave me this short little lumber load out of the Northeast. Of course, I'm in the fucking Northeast again. I'm up in upstate New York. He gave me a lumber load, but it was short, and I was like, "Come on, man, don't give me that for the weekend. Give me something better." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, just hang tight. I'm gonna switch it with something else." He hadn't gotten back to me yet, so I gotta send him a message and say, "Hey, you haven't forgotten about me, right, motherfucker? You know, time's ticking away." But on a side note, something I was just thinking about that I wanted to just throw in here real quick is the video I made about. It's titled "Watch Before You Get on a Trainer's Truck." Now, I got negative comments on that video, but you know, my point is look, I know I come off as an asshole in that video, but I kind of meant to, because the things I talked about in that video, you know, they need to be fucking known. You know, I didn't lie when I made that fucking video. It's the truth. You know, and a perfect example is Mark State. I don't know if the guy still makes videos. He used to work for Stevens. Now he's a lease op for Prime, I think he is. But he makes better videos than I do. I used to watch him before I got into trucking. He's got, you know, his shit's edited, and he's got a professional mic, and his shit's way more professional than I am, than my videos are. But my point is, he has a video that is called Getting on a Trainer's Truck, I think it's called. It coincides with a lot of the shit that I said, you know. Not everything that I said, but like he has a lot of the same points, you know. Like, you know, don't bring that much shit, you know. Like the last perfect example, like the last trainee I had, apparently his recruiter, I guess, told him, yeah, you need to bring 2 weeks worth of clothes and all this other stuff. So suffice it to say, you know, this guy had a lot of stuff with him. I mean, a lot. Like, to the point where he couldn't sleep with it on the top bunk because he had so much stuff. Now, what I probably should have done is had him leave some of that stuff at driver storage on the yard, because that's what it's for. You know, and you can lock your stuff up, and there's only a couple guys that hold the keys, and they're administrative people there at Western. So your stuff, you know, I left some of my stuff in there for the week I was gone. You know, they got shelves and shit. It's all safe. But my point is, I picked him up from the hotel, and I was trying to avoid going to the yard. So when he got on the truck, he had all this stuff with him, and you know, my only other option was, hey, you know, just take it, or I got to go by the fucking yard. And I really didn't want to go by the yard. I had a live load on. I just wanted to go. So I was like, all right, fuck it. He had so much stuff, he couldn't sleep with it on the bunk. He actually, when he went to lay down, he had to put it all in the passenger seat. And it was like stacked sky high. We had to lower the seat down all the way just so I could see the mirrors and stuff when I drive at night. So I was like, he had a whole suitcase full of clothes. And it's like, you know, Mark State's guy, he's on the money with it. 3 to 4 pairs of pants, 7 to 10 shirts, a week's worth of underwear and socks, smartphone or a tablet, a backpack, and your work boots, work gloves, hard hat, safety glasses, and that is motherfucking it. In your backpack, if you want to have some entertainment items, that's fine, but you like a 24-inch duffel bag or rolling suitcase, 2 foot by like 18, like 24 by 18 or whatever the fuck size it is, it's all you need. It's all you need. We go to Walmart, we go to, you know, or your trainer should go to fucking Walmart. He should. But, you know, we have opportunities to do laundry and stuff, so that's all you should have. A duffel bag, little duffel bag with a fucking backpack on top of it. Honestly, a sleeping bag blanket, which is a little mini $10 sleeping bag that you unzip all the way, and it's a blanket, and a pillow, $5 pillow. $15 you can get the bedding you need. $20 you can get some awesome bedding from Walmart. That's all you need. I wouldn't even bring that shit with you. You know? Unless it's really small, I would just say, hey, can we go by Walmart, or take the shuttle to Walmart while you're in orientation and pick it up while you're there. Every day, I believe at 7 o'clock, that shuttle comes down to the hotel, and it gives everyone a ride to Walmart every day, as far as I'm concerned. So just get it after you take your Greyhound or your plane or you drive or whatever the fuck. But you know, he's people that disagree with me, man. Nah, man, you should have cabinets set aside for your students and shit. No, this is my home, dude. You know, I don't like my house or any fucking apartment or house I've ever had. I didn't have whole sections of my home specifically set aside for if I had a guest. You know, maybe you have a guest room in your house. That's one thing. But this is the size of a jail cell in here. You know, the guest room it's like 20% of the truck is just that one top bunk. That's 1/5 of the truck that you get. You know, I get the rest of it. You know, of course, you know, I prefer you not have so much stuff. You've got to set it all down in the seat, the jump seat when you go to lay down. But you know, it's. Dude, you know, man, that's bullshit. You know, like the dude got into an argument with me. I'm sorry, you're wrong. You know, you're wrong. And I told him, I was like, look, I don't want to argue with you, man, but become a trainer and you will understand. You know, and if you say, well, I don't want to be a trainer, like, then what the fuck are you talking about? You disagree what I'm saying as a trainer, but you would never be one. Like, well, that doesn't even make any fucking sense. You know, I would never be a trainer. I like being by myself and having all my own space, you know. But if I was a trainer, if I did happen to want to be a trainer, I would set aside. It's like you're saying you don't want to set aside any room, but I should because I'm a trainer. But you know, I'm not a trainer. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. You know, you don't argue points for something that you're not and will never be. You know, like I don't presume to talk about, hey, she's barking at people walking by. Like, she's protecting the truck, I guess. Calm down. But I don't presume to make decisions about, like, you know, women's health or something like that. Because I'm not a fucking woman. I don't know nothing about it. And I don't, that's not my place to make decisions about that. You know, if my girlfriend's got some, you know, I don't go in, you know, the bathroom and, you know, talk to whatever girlfriend I have at the time. Like, hey, you know, these makeups suck and these makeups are awesome and like these shampoos are good, but I don't know anything about any of that shit. She wants to have 20 shampoos and 8,000 pieces of makeup. Not my department. I don't know anything about it. So I don't fucking step in with my opinion about her shit because it ain't my fucking place. I'm not a fucking female. So, you know, it's just, you know, you're free to disagree with something, but at the same time, you know, I think anybody is free to disagree with anything, but at the same time, it's I think it's better if you can at least argue your point, like, viably, you know? So, I mean, I think it's kind of stupid to get on my comment section of a video and say, you know, you're fucking stupid, you're full of shit, man, and, you know, fucking, this is the reason why, and shit. You know, it's like, well, are you a trainer? No, I would never be a trainer. Okay, well, then how would you even... like, you disagree with my opinion as a trainer, like, you know, but you're not a trainer. Like, how does that even work? Become a trainer, you'll understand. You know, the way you have your truck right now, like, you know, you don't have that much space, especially in a mid-roof. I have even less cabinet space than your standard fucking high top sleeper and shit like that, because their cabinets go all the way up. Mine are shorter. You know, I don't have back here on the Freightliner, I don't have that little cubby hole that you could put a mini microwave in. That shit's gone. I don't even have that. You know, like, this shit would be like super high. I don't have super high cabinets in this bitch. So I just don't have that much room, you know? So, just whatever. But other than that, for anybody, I keep getting this question. Yes, I work for Western Express currently. That's who I've been working for almost a year. That is this Western Express. That's who I work for. So if anybody was wondering, maybe because I stopped tagging the videos as Western Express, maybe I should start doing that again. I figured anybody watching my videos would realize I work for Western Express. Not to mention, if anybody's watching this video that has questions, like you know, just basic questions about coming into the industry, becoming a new driver, whatever, any kind of questions about Western, especially about Western Express, like, before you ask the question in the comments, which I'm, you know, I have no problem answering, go back and look at my list of other videos, and I've actually gone over a lot of questions that people ask me in other videos about money and miles and truck. I've had tours of the truck and stuff like that. You know, I've gone over a lot of stuff, you know, training and policies and bullshit, and, you know, just check through and see if I've made a video on it, and just click on the fucking video, and I've explained it at length with lots of nicotine and curse words. Well, that's it, man. This is a long ass video. It's gonna take me forever to upload. I gotta get off this thing, so just holler at me later, you guys.